Thursday. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday, guys. That's crazy. I don't even know what day of the week it is. But welcome to another episode of the Futurist Podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about some interesting topics that we've discovered in the news, on Twitter, really, in the blockchain space. We're going to talk about some gaming. We're going to talk about some blockchain gaming. We're going to get into a few things here. I'm Annalise. As you can see, I'm super enthusiastic. Let me back up here. Whoop, yep, just went through a table. To my virtual left is Brian, and to my virtual right is going to be Jerome. And we are the podcast. P.S. If you guys have been following us, you should also know Patrick, which is the fourth musketeer. But Patrick decided to sell his computer to make some gains. So I just wanted to make that public service announcement as to why he's been missing. So, pump your bags, boys. Put a mortgage on your home. Double down because apparently the market's going ballistic because, we're selling computers for parts. So,
I
guys, how
mean,
are we today?
I mean, hey, if he waited and bought in this week, he did a great job because man, did the market tank this week.
I don't know what he's doing, but if it's worth selling my computer for, then something must be happening. He must be making some money.
You
So
gotta
I
make
don't
the
know. He said he'll
gains.
be back soon. So if you guys do miss Patrick, he will be back soon. How are you, Brian? How's your state? Is it still on fire?
Not so much anymore. Some places are still boarded up, but things are pretty much back to normal. And yeah, besides that, things have been pretty good. I got a random drop of I think it was 0.43 ETH in my wallet sometime at the end of August. So unfortunately, I didn't sell out before Ethereum started to plummet. So that's been taking a little bit of a drop. But I'm hopeful, hearing it's planning on going back up to 400 or 500. So I'm just looking forward to that point so I can sell it off.
I
That's
saw a tweet today. Well, I mean, listen. One step at a time, man. We're playing 400, 500, and like let's say price correction down to 400, 300. It's a pretty good earnings. Buy back in. But anyways, I saw a tweet today, and it was talking about the whole Ethereum plummeting thing, and it was funny because the guy was like, Ethereum isn't plummeting because of all these new DeFi, food chain, cryptocurrencies that just kind of showed up out of nowhere. Ethereum is plummeting because it's not as useful as a blockchain slash project as people thought of it to be, and things are becoming apparent, which I feel like there's a lot of truth to that. And I say that because someone had said to me the other day, even before I read this tweet that I just said talked about today, but I said this to someone the other day because they were saying that the gas fees were up because all these projects have been like messing with the fees, and like it kind of like dawned on me, if we're not hitting mass adoption yet, and we are at the state where people who are kind of like into the space already are the ones who are like making transactions and jumping on, like how is Ethereum supposed to function as a product years from now, where we are supposed to take off as an ecosystem if it can't work under pressure now? And I get it, Ethereum 2.0 is coming, but that keeps getting delayed. So there's a lot of truth to that tweet that I saw today, because I said that to someone because they were just saying, because if your product doesn't work, it doesn't work. Like, period. If it doesn't work under pressure, it doesn't work. Period. Not as much people on it. So I don't know. Just thought to share that with you because of all that. What do you think about that, by the way?
Yeah, I definitely personally think that unless they can do something, because I've been waiting for Ethereum 2.0, and I'm sure a lot of people in the space
Right.
have been for quite a
Of
while.
course. Of
And,
course.
now we're starting to see kind of like these forks of, like Steam. You got Hive for, Relentless, which is now like number one on DApp Radar, and you got all these emerging Tron games now, and, new titles popping up from EOS and all these other blockchains that,
Mm-hmm.
is just at least from my personal opinion, have been faster and a lot not necessarily easier to onboard to, but just more efficient as far as like being able to make multiple transactions and sell items on the marketplace and not have to pay an arm and a leg for gas fees and waiting
Right.
hours for these transactions to go by. So I think I mean I definitely agree if they don't step it up and really put something in the high gear that is going to make the chain itself more feasible for people to make more transactions, like scale it up. That a lot more people are gonna start to bail. A lot of games have already started to bail from Ethereum altogether, and looking for
Yeah, I've heard about
alternatives.
that.
So yeah, it's looking grim from that aspect, but at the same time, they're still working on 2.0. They're still talking about updates and it coming soon. So I guess we'll just have to wait until something else can really come that'll officially sweep it off its feet, unless they can make a comeback. Jerome, what about you? You got any remarks on that?
I believe that 2.0 isn't going to make much of a difference. I don't know. We'll see when it comes. If it makes much of a difference, I'm sure we'll talk about it. Um, I agree that if your product isn't doing so well under pressure, it's not going to do so well, after the update. So uh, this is just basic problems with the initial release of Ethereum and a lot of these other currencies that don't have scalability in mind. I'm really excited to see what we get from like Cardano and these third generation platforms that have in mind for scalability and are programming towards that. So with the Shelly mainnet, I'm watching that with a close eye to see what's going to happen with this race between first gen, which is Bitcoin, second gen, which is the likes like Ethereum, and now third gen, which is Cardano. And I heard somewhere talk about they're looking to be the fourth generation of cryptocurrency, which that blows my mind considering the fact that this is only like a 10-year space.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. I mean, the space is growing. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Another thing that's been sweeping the newsways is a lot of these DeFi currencies, kind of like how I mentioned, these food meme coins. Food meme coins. So a lot of these meme or DeFi farming, yield farming, farmable coins are food. Sushi, pork chop, kamichi. What else? Burger, pizza is another one. I don't know. There's a lot of them. Have you guys? How do you guys feel about these coins before we kind of like do a deep dive into this?
I only knew about the sushi
This is the
swap.
first
What the
time
heck is the rest
I'm
of that? What are you talking
hearing.
about?
Wow, really? So, okay, so let me catch you up on what's been happening. Newest scam alert, I guess. And I don't particularly say that these things are scams. What I believe is that these are people who are finding new and innovative ways of making money. And if you know how to swing trade and or farm these currencies, it's risky but very lucrative. All right. So let me give some information on this. So essentially, the way this works is that there's these new coins in the crypto space, and they're called decentralized financial currencies for the most part, DeFi. And what they do is you are able to stake, let's say your Bitcoin, wrap it into another coin to provide VC fundings for other companies, quote unquote. So you're kind of just like pumping. It's like a way to get around ICOs. Like let's think about that. Let's think about it like that. Like does that make sense? You're literally just like raising money by wrapping existing currency and getting paid out by staking your currency with other coins, and you're hoping for these other coins to pump. Is really how it all boils down to. There's not particularly any backing to a lot of these coins. There's not particularly a reason for these coins. A lot of these coins um, jumped on like the Uniswap trend, where you can, like make your own liquidity, like that whole thing, how that's kind of been taking Uniswap kind of took the exchange space for a sweep. between 1 week and another, Uniswap went from a $28 million project or $2,800 million project to like 1.5 billion, like, within a week, which is crazy. It's a lot of market, but that's essentially what has been happening with the quote unquote DeFi, which has caused all these gas prices to go parabolic on the Ethereum side. So, one story kind of ties into another, but that's essentially what's been happening. So, a lot of these coins, like I said, they don't really have an actual project or backing. Some of them do have VC funding, like Yearn Finance. Yam was another one, Compound Coin. These are also the DeFi projects that have somewhat of a project behind it. But the ones like, Sushi and, Pizza and Pork Chop, they don't have anything. They're literally just kind of coins that people are hoping to pump for the most part by staking your other cards. So pizza, I think, went up like 4,000%, something crazy, and then it went to literally basically zero, and it kind of tanked, which is why a lot of people are saying that these things are scams. But also, there's nothing that they ever promised behind the currency. It's literally no promise thing. It's literally swing trading is what it is. If anyone's actually trading it, there's some people that are saying they're only farming it, which if you're not willing to invest thousands of dollars, farming is not worth it. I've tried it. Yield farming is something that you need to have a certain amount of money that you're willing to put up front, because one, it's risky. Two, between paying a bunch of gas fees, like if you throw $300 in there, by the time you're getting, part of the liquidity pool paid out to you, you could hold like 0.004 of the liquidity pool, and by the time you get like these currencies that you hope will go up, you may have paid more in fees wrapping it and staking it and getting it off to a wallet than you made. So it's a slippery slope. People have, when I've gotten iffy feelings about it, some people say, hey, this is going to be the next Wi-Fi, which went up to $30,000. It went from zero to $30,000, which is like, hey, the Bitcoin 2.0. That was like 2 weeks ago. This coin went up that high. So some people are trying to jump on some of these coins because there is the possibility of making a lot of money, but again, it's very risky because that's not always the case. And if you get caught in a coin that dumps, that's it. You get wrecked. So that's kind of the 411 scoop on that, guys. I hope that made sense.
It sounds like an easy way to lose a lot of money. So you're investing into something that a lot of people don't even believe in. It's just a way to quote unquote make money by jumping into.
Literally just pump and dumps. Actual pump and dumps. Literally. A lot of these are just pump and dumps.
Well, so guys, it's something you got to pay attention to in this market. You're gonna have a lot of people that create scams, some people that create, gems, and people that create nonsense. So really just pay attention to what you're looking to invest into. If you believe in it and you want to see to it that it exists, then put your money where your mouth is. For me, that would tend to be gaming. I believe that gaming is the best way towards adoption and for more people to see the potential with the utilization of this technology and these tools within your game. So let's talk about some of the games that are utilizing the tools that blockchain enables
Take
for
a
us.
breath, bro. Like,
Brian, what's some of the blockchain gaming news you got?
Yeah, so we got a couple of things today. One of them being that Atari has partnered with the Arcane Network, and they are celebrating that partnership with an event. So on Gleam, which some of you may or may not know.
Wait, Brian, I'm going to pause you real quick because I feel like Atari has been partnering with everyone and their mama. I thought they partnered with Litecoin. I thought they partnered with like 10 other people, and I'm trying to figure out what the heck is going on because I ain't seen nothing new. But continue. I just wanted to say that.
I definitely agree. And yeah, all I can say is they've definitely been dipping their toes quite a bit into the blockchain space. Anyways, I was saying Gleam, giveaway website, GLEAM. $5,000 in prizes, and it is split up among 3 games: Battle Racers, Sandbox, and Ethereum. So the prizes include sand tokens, mon tokens, and non-fungible tokens. And then a lot of it is like, sharing the links on social media, taking photos with your Ethereumons. I probably like building, worlds in the world builder on the sandbox, and then, submitting it, taking a screenshot, whatnot. I don't know the exact end date for it. I believe it's already started, but you can definitely go and look that up. Just Atari or Gleam, and yeah, so that's going on, as well as for the sandbox once again. They are bringing Care Bears to the metaverse, so they are going to be having
Care
tokenized assets,
Bears.
yep, of different types of Care Bears that are going to be able to be
Care Bears
used.
are low key
Hmm.
getting popular. Like, I don't know if you know, like people like started getting it back into like My Little Pony. Grown ass men, by the way, grown people. Okay, I'm not talking about children. Like grown people are into like Care Bears and like My Little Ponies. Like I didn't know that was a thing, but it's a thing. So I don't know. That's cool though.
Yeah, so apparently they're
I
going to be
guess.
not only, just like tokenized assets, but usable within the virtual worlds. So since this is on the sandbox, apparently they will have some sort of function in at least one of the sandbox worlds. No clue on how they plan on adding functionality to them, or if you're going to be able to, somewhat like CryptoKitties, where you can customize your own and then make new ones, or who knows. But all I know is that they've been, from Tops and the Garbage Pail Kids and whatnot, now to Care Bears and Atari. We're definitely seeing some top, name brands join the blockchain space and start making digital, collectibles, and I definitely think that's pretty cool.
I
Another
feel
quick
like
one.
those places
Yep.
are appropriate to make collectibles though, because like these are like things that the older generation kind of reminisces on. Like the newer generations, there's like a bunch of like different shows and different things that they're getting into. Like I don't see much kids that are 12, like 4 or 5, getting into like Care Bears or some of the other ones you named to Atari. They're trying to cater to I guess the younger generation, but not really. Which is why it's like this digital good is kind of it like fits them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely more marketed towards the younger generation, people that probably have a bit more knowledge for technology and would have a little bit of an easier time understanding, getting crypto wallet set up and, having digital assets and really understanding the value of digital goods, as opposed to someone who, let's say, may be a little bit older and is more used to, like actual discs and physical goods, and is seeing all these micropayments and these games with their skins, and not really understanding the difference between digital assets, non-fungible tokens, items that players actually own and can trade and sell, and just spend your money on V-Bucks, or whatever digital coins that the game wants you to pay real money for to get their in-game items that have no real value. But yeah, that's pretty great. MetaMask Mobile is now officially out for both iOS and Android. I know it came in some form to iOS a while ago, and I don't know how long it's been on Android, but I use either Trust or MetaMask for my mobile wallets. I got MetaMask maybe half a year ago on iOS. I think like right when the initial version came out. I don't know if I have it currently set up. I just mostly stick to Trust because I don't know, it works a little bit better for me. But I know, as someone that uses MetaMask on Chrome at least, I've been hoping for a mobile version of it to come out. So officially out on, both sides of the platform. So that's pretty exciting. And yeah, we got a couple of betas. I know one that was pretty interesting. I don't know if you guys have any opinions on this. War of Ants. Early access is now available on Android.
War
It is an
fans.
engine platform strategy game. So you connect it. You have engine assets. It's available on Google Play, as I said. So Android looked pretty
Can you explain
interesting.
how the game is played?
Yeah,
Like, am
I
I like
haven't
fighting ant
downloaded it,
colonies? Like, what's
and I
the
plan on it. So you have, let's see, you go to assets. You have different things like drones, catapult ants, mortar strikes. So it's
Catapult ant? I'm
Oh
sorry,
wait,
yeah.
what's a
wait, wait, wait.
catapult ant? You
Wait a
can't
minute,
just jump over that.
back up,
What?
back up.
So
Is
that
this
one.
like hold on? Is this like Angry Bird for ants? Or is this
Let's see. Real time PvP strategy. Yeah, it's a PvP strategy blockchain game. Crypto backed items. So, as I said, on the Engine platform. So, you connect it with your Engine wallet when you get in. Each player takes charge as the
when
queen
you
of their
say
ant colony.
strategy, what does that
Yeah.
mean to
You
you?
compete with other
Like what is
colonies
that like
throughout the world. Trial by combat. So, you can,
so
Interesting.
wait,
yeah.
but you know how not magic. What's that game where you have like a team and like each person does like an attack or you can set them up and you know what I mean? Like you got your playing field. Is it like one of those games? Like I'm just trying to
Yeah,
have like
sounds like
having a
that's a
hard
real
time
time
trying to figure
strategy
out what
game.
the thing actually looks like.
You're on the right path from what it sounds like. It's a real time
Yeah.
strategy game, and I think
I was
you're on the
like, I
right path
cannot
with
imagine
relating it
myself
to
flinging
Angry
ants
Birds.
across the screen to like fight each other's colonies, like just like Angry Birds. Like that's just so funny. But
It
I don't know.
it sounds like a mix of Angry Birds and like Rise of Empires. But continue, Brian. That just threw me off.
Yeah, so it's got toon graphics and it looks, I don't know, it looks pretty good. It looks like something that I would at least try out, if I'm sitting in class or at lunch or whatever, maybe if I'm like a high school student or just, have some time to kill, out on the go, whatever, maybe trying to just, earn up a few engine assets, definitely something to pick up. Like I said, early access and it just came out. There's no reviews or anything yet on here, so downloading it currently so I can hop into it and really check it out more in depth. But yeah, I'd seen it and it just kind of piqued my interest, so I figured I'd bring it up that it's officially out, so you can go on Google Play and look up War of Ants. I believe. Yeah,
War
War
Ants.
of
I'm gonna go
Ants. Yep.
download it.
And
Yeah.
give it a
I
try.
really wish it was like Angry Birds style. I'm not gonna lie, because like that's just so funny. Like what, what sound would the ant make when you fling it?
Oh goodness.
Onward.
All
Yeah,
right.
that's a
Ants
good
don't have
Moving
question.
on.
noises. Ants don't have noises. I don't know. Go ahead.
Moving
Anyways, what else?
on from that. So I wanted to bring up, the fact that Facebook Horizons has been releasing to the public. More and more people are getting access. Brian, I know you got access last week, and I got access over the weekend. Let's talk a little bit about Facebook's Horizons, which is similar to Altspace, which we're in right now. However, it's Altspace is run by Microsoft, and Facebook now has created their own alternative, which will run on an Oculus Quest. It'll allow you to go to their virtual worlds where you can hang out with other people. It's very similar to Altspace, but because it's in beta, it's not fully developed yet. So you can see where some features are gonna be rolling out more and more. But let's hash that out, Brian. What do you think about Horizons?
Wait. Before you guys answer that question, just out of curiosity, since you guys have checked it out, let's say the Facebook Horizons launches a year to date, Facebook or Altspace.
I mean,
Well,
it's still in beta, so let's
No.
answer that.
Okay, outside of beta, hold on. Answer the question. Outside of beta, based on the structure as is right now with the Envision, Facebook Horizons or Altspace.
I'd probably say Altspace just because I feel like Facebook Horizons at the very moment is like like an alpha build of VR chat where you go in and you have like the home hub and then there's other people around the
Mm-hmm.
hub and then you go around and you have like these portals that look very similar to the VR chat portals that have the name of the
Hmm.
world and then it gives you like a preview, like a little peek into it, what the world looks like, and then you click on it and it teleports it to that world and then you go into it with all the people, except because
Mm-hmm.
it's on Facebook and made by Facebook and all that. They're really, really pushing for this family friendly, for people of all ages. Obviously, you have to be 13 to have a Facebook account, and now that you have to have a Facebook account to use Oculus, who knows what they're going to do as far as parents that just, give their kids the headset and hop them in and whatever. But
I didn't think about that one. There's a lot of kids that come into Altspace.
That there definitely are. And as I'm sure both of you know, most likely hopping into VR chat quite a bit, there are, it's a very for all ages type of place. You have a lot of adults and a lot of like rooms where, you have these really wild and wacky custom avatars and, this full body tracking and kind of more of like a
I like VR chat. VR
yeah,
chat's
like
pretty cool.
a chat area. Whereas
More
I don't know, it just Horizon definitely feels more of like kind of how Altspace is, being like more on the family friendly side, more cartoony avatars, more like kind of basic, very animated, very colorful and bright colors, and just kind of
everything
trying
is
to keep it
super bright
simple.
in Horizons. I'll agree with him on that. I
Is
like
it?
that Altspace isn't super bright and colorful. It has a lot of dull colors and brightened colors, so it feels more natural. Whereas I'll admit, man, that as soon as I got into Horizons, I'm just like, yo, who chose these colors? They're just bright colors. It's not like they chose any
Well, like, what do
dull
you
colors.
mean? What do
Every
you mean by
color
bright
was
colors? Just
like
like the
highlights.
display?
No, just like think of like if I got a highlighter, every color is like the same, like the
Oh, like
spectrum
the
of
tone
colors.
of the
Yes,
I
the
see, I
tone
see.
is
Yeah.
just super bright. I feel like I stepped into the 80s. It's just it's a bit different, but I think that there's a lot of potential. The one thing that I was looking around for inside the room was like to create rooms was to see if I can input any content. I'm willing to bet they're not going to let you put in like YouTube videos into the world, but I wouldn't be surprised if they let you put in like Facebook Watch directly into the world. Does that mean that if we do a
What
live
is
stream
Facebook
game?
Watch? Is that like their own thing?
Yeah,
What
that's
is
their video platform where you can watch videos, as well as they have Facebook Gaming now. So if I wanted to do a game stream like I do
Where is it
here,
pulling these videos from? Like, if I'm a YouTube streamer and I have something on YouTube, is it not like where is it pulling it from? Like, Facebook has its own platform where it's like
yes,
storing all these videos and its own server and
yes.
stuff.
You can put in a
Really?
stream key from Facebook Gaming directly into Restream, and it will now stream that. We talked about that a few weeks back when Microsoft killed their
I feel like
platform.
Facebook is getting in over their head. That's a bit much, Like, YouTube has its own streaming thing, but it's not like you have to do it. Like, to push their other products on you, that's a bit much. It's a bit
So
much
as of
for
right
a
now, they haven't
platform.
even enabled that. I don't see an option at all for me to embed any videos. All it lets you do is create things that are already in Facebook Horizons. I don't see any
Mhm.
way for me to build something in Unity and put it into Horizons as of right now. I'm hoping that that is a feature, but as of right now, I'm not seeing that, and nor am I seeing any option to put any
So
media,
what
no
are you
music,
able
no.
to do in Facebook Horizons? Have you seen anything like that similar to how Altspace is that you like? What can you do? Do you think it's going to
They
be
got a
like this, where it's going to be event oriented, or is it more like a VR
I
chat
want
where
to
you don't
say
really have events, you just have worlds? Like
Yeah,
how?
right now it's
both.
just like a very basic form of like what Altspace and VR chat is. You hop in there and you can go up to people, you have your avatar, you can customize your avatar, I believe. I don't think I actually checked that out too
I'll
much.
also say that they have an element of
hmm
rec room where it's like you can build games into it. So unlike Altspace, there's not really
That's
much
cool.
like
Yeah, the
game
the
games
games
in
it
here. You have
was
those little mini
very
games.
it feels like cuz I heard great things of the world builder. I went into it, I couldn't figure out how to do pretty much anything besides like move the world around and have that little the person little dummy character be in there and whatever. But it was definitely cool, and I heard a lot of people were saying that it was very easy and very intuitive to get worlds and places created. And I think what at the moment there's 7 or 8 maybe worlds total, so it's just like you got a plaza, and then you have pretty much there's definitely
No,
more
those
than
weren't.
that. Yeah, those are
Those are
like the
just
central
like the
ones.
popular worlds. Yeah, those are the popular worlds. Just like if you were to go into Altspace, it'll show you what worlds are popular, but then there's a list of all these other worlds. Everybody can create their own world and make it public or private. It's just there's already created stuff inside Horizons that you can select and put into your world. There's a decent variety of things that you can choose, and it looks like they have the option for scripting. So it doesn't look like you can just import from Unity directly into Facebook yet, but it does look like if you know how to script and actually create the JavaScript file that is, this table in front of us or these microphones or, a shooting game, whatever, so be it, you can script that into Horizons, it looks like.
Yeah, and I did get to play at least one game that was pretty alright. I will say as well, the community was very friendly. I joined in, it was like a castle and like a big yard, and everybody had these like water balloon gun things, and then there was like 5 people in there. They were all like super, yeah, they were super friendly. They were like, hey, grab a gun, here's where the guns are, whatever. And it started, and then there was like these targets that popped up at like random places around the map, and you had to like run around the map and try to hit more targets with the gun than the other people, and then they would like disappear and randomly reappear in
Okay,
different
so it
parts of the
sounds like
map.
there's like more like actual like activity, kind of like you said, like Rec Room that you can do versus like Altspace or VR chat.
Yes.
Okay,
I would say
that
it's
sounds
way
cool.
better to Rec Room
I
than
don't
it is
know.
to Altspace. The one
How's the
thing, the
rest?
one
How's
story,
the? You guys were on your headsets when you saw it, right?
yeah, you can't see it from 2D. It's only for the Quest right now.
Okay, so
Yeah, I was
do you
using
think
my
they'll ever
Quest.
do a 2D, or do you think they're just gonna stick with VR?
If it's going to be
I don't know. It
looks
seems
like
like
it's
it's
just VR.
definitely because when the initial trailer came out, the whole thing was like, like everybody in it. They put on the quest. It was like, hey, you can have this quest. We're gonna have, like it really seemed like it was something for more like specifically the VR space. Like, hey,
It's
we're gonna
VR,
focus
VR.
towards
Okay.
like wireless VR. You can be anywhere, any place, and then you can just
Yeah,
kind
I
of
mean,
put on your
there's a quest,
headset,
and it makes
and
sense for them to do it that way.
especially with
What I
the
It
rumors of
think
actually
the.
would
makes
be
sense.
cool, what I do think would be cool, and I can see where they have that possibility to do it and structure it that way. You know how you can put 360 videos into Facebook? I wouldn't be surprised if they allow you to do 360 recording in Horizons and then be able to like stream it on Facebook and view it in full 360. So that way you could be able to turn the camera around and actually like look around the world from your phone to be able to watch events that are happening. I hope that's something that they're thinking of and build in long term, but who knows what Facebook's planning to do with this? We're just getting a small little taste right now. I do want to tell you guys a quick little story about when I first walked into Horizons yesterday. It's my first time in there. Like you said, it just kind of loads you into this lobby. As I walked in, I saw a couple of people. Just saw one person and said, "Hey, quick question. How do you build a world in here?" And he gave me a quick little step, and I immediately clicked the button. Then, as I'm leaving the room, I noticed his name was BMF Show. And I'm like, wait, the BMF show? Like the guy that streams a bunch of YouTube videos talking about virtual reality? You immediately pull up his profile, and it's none other than Matt from BMF himself. And I didn't even really get to talk to him. So sad. I was just so quick and immediately jumped out of there. So note to self, next time if you guys are ever in Horizons or any platform, look at who you're talking to and make sure you know who you're talking to before you leave the room. Anywho.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
pretty wild. I've
Anyways,
definitely watched quite a few of his videos. Another thing, just because we're kind of on the subject of VR and Horizons and whatnot, have you two been hearing of, and I want to know your opinions of, we've been seeing the Quest be like sold out everywhere as well as the Switch for like quite a while now, and now we're hearing speculations of it being like discontinued, not getting any more stocks in stores, and then obviously with the Facebook, whatever they're calling it, event on the 16th, the new Oculus whatever digital virtual event for showcasing all their technology and whatnot, and the rumors of the Quest 2 and the leaks and whatnot. What are your guys' thoughts on that? You think we got something coming by the end of the year, or at least an announcement of a new headset, or?
I mean, they said they were building a new headset, and they said that there's going to be certain features that's going to be added, like the eye tracking and stuff like that. Usually, when companies are ramping down production of one product, that means they are relatively close to having another one done. Because there's no reason why Facebook is working so hard on beta testing Facebook Horizon and trying to, do all this stuff if they don't have another Oculus ready to go when they know there's high demand for it and people want it. So it wouldn't make any sense unless they literally were ready to start manufacturing the new ones and have them, in stock maybe for Christmas or, Black Friday, if there is Black Friday this year. That means they're gonna have it soon. So that's what I get from that.
Yeah, and the Go only lasted for about a year as well, right? Before the Quest was announced, wasn't that only? I think it was less than
Yeah,
two
they just killed
years.
the Quest. They killed the Go earlier this year, and I think it came out in what 2018. So that barely lasted 2 years, and now the Quest
Yeah,
lasted
but it
what
seems like the
exactly a
Go
year?
one, like it was like we said, there's some people who like the Go because it was it was slim, it was convenient, it could load low power worlds. Based on what you guys are telling me, this might be something that like you couldn't load VR chat on the Go. Their platform may be too big for the Go, so they probably killed it off literally for that reason. It wasn't as useful as other headsets as like I feel like
Which
this,
makes sense,
even though the
but then to
Go
do that
was like a
again with the
lower
Quest?
tier, I feel like the Oculus is like this is the most basic headset in my opinion. Like the Oculus has
Yeah,
everything I would need. The well
yeah,
sensing
and that
headset.
that makes sense for the Go, but now they're doing the same thing for the Quest, is what we're getting at, and we're just not understanding why discontinue the Quest if you guys are coming out with a new Quest-like product. Why couldn't you sell
Is it
both at the same
Quest
time
Lite?
and
Are they
then
renaming
discontinue?
it? Is it not a Quest anymore? Are they like
From what I
what
We
heard
don't
I
know
and
thought
yet.
they were gonna
seen,
make? I thought there was an
hmm
update, like a new 2020 Quest is what I was understanding.
yeah, from the speculations and rumors that I saw and heard, it looked like it was going to be about $100 cheaper than the Quest, and then trying to solve some of the issues of like weight distribution and like overall size, kind of slimming it down, as well as because there was the new announcement, not really new anymore, but like the new VR dedicated like processor graphics chip that came out, roughly a year ago, a little like half a year after the Quest came out. So I don't know if they're planning on implementing that or like some sort of like thing, but I know I'm
No,
almost certain the Quest
I
has what the Snapdragon 835, which is already what like 4 years old as far as processors go at the moment. For smartphones
it's
even. I mean compared
it's
to like
possible.
like something like the
Uh,
S10 or like a Note 10 or like the new iPhone or something like modern. It's definitely, lacking in that department a little bit. So, hopefully they,
All
but I
right,
mean,
give it
if
like
it's gonna
less
be
than a
like the
month. I
same
bet you in
thing,
a few weeks, Facebook is gonna announce a new headset. I'm telling you, a few weeks, Facebook is gonna
yeah,
announce a
no,
new headset.
definitely.
No way.
There's
There's no way.
definitely announcing a new headset. It's just a matter of what kind of headset is it going to be. A lot of people are expecting it to be a Quest 2, and some people are rumoring that it's going to be more like a Quest Lite. So if you have like the Xbox, the difference between like the Xbox Series X and the Xbox One S, they're pretty much the same. They play the same games, just one has a higher processor than the other, and it's smaller than the other. So having a smaller, lighter, more comfortable Quest with the same chips, does it, that makes sense that that's what they're doing. It's possible, like Brian said, that they're going to make that dedicated VR chip in this device. That might be a possibility. We're just going to have to wait and find out.
All right.
But aside from VR, then streaming news, we've gotten Marvel Avengers and a bunch of new games on Stadia last week. I've gotten to play and beat Marvel Avengers already. A lot of fun for anybody that's interested in checking that out. That just came out last Friday. So much fun. It's a great story. But after you beat the story, it's kind of like Destiny. It's just kind of a grind to, keep rinse and repeat playing the same story mode missions with other people online as it gets harder and harder and you try to earn more rewards like different customizable like outfits and gear for your characters. A lot of the move sets are really, really cool. I ended up, finishing the move set on Iron Man, and then I unlocked the next set of move sets. I didn't realize how many moves that they can have. There's literally hundreds of different moves. So it's pretty cool that like you're basically unlocking everything the more you play the game. Like once you play the game for the first time, you barely actually played the game. But that's really cool. I'm glad that we got that AAA game out there on Google Stadia now. There's some other games that came out. They had a free weekend where you could try The Crew 2, which I didn't pick that up. I wasn't really interested in a lot of the racing games, but I actually enjoyed it. There was also some other free games that came with the Google Stadia Pro membership that I think is worth talking about. Annalise and I checked out one of them. It's called Gunsport. Yeah, it looks like a boring game, but it was actually a lot of fun. What did you think, Annalise?
It was cool. I mean, I don't know. We didn't play it enough, but like it was. Think of Pong with just like multiple ways of playing Pong. It was pretty cool, bro. It was cute.
Yeah, I would definitely say it's like Pong, but it's closer to like volleyball with a gun. So you're shooting the ball back and forth, and there's a lot of different game modes and rules. So it can really get challenging where it slows the ball down or speeds the ball up. Yeah, it was crazy. We also got Hitman and a bunch of other games that came out on Google Stadia this week. So if you're, not if you don't have a Xbox or a PlayStation or a high-end PC and you want to be able to check out some really fun games, I'd say go ahead and check out Google Stadia or NVIDIA GeForce Now, which also has been getting a lot more cool games and stopped the exodus of people that were leaving their platform. But I believe that's the news in terms of streaming, VR. Any other news catch you guys' attention this week?
No,
No,
not
that's been pretty much
particularly.
it. That
I
sounds
kind of
good to
just
me.
went over everything in my opinion, but yeah, I guess that's it, guys. I'll wrap it up from here. Thank you for listening to our wonderful voices. Thank you for joining us for another week of the Futurist Podcast. We will see you next week. Make sure to tune into our other events. Join the Telegram group t.me/blockchain univr SE universe. Other than that, thanks, guys. We'll see you then.
Yep, take it easy, everyone.
Should have told